Morning, Mr. Borde, and so happy to have you on this, YouTube channel of mine, all the way from Goa. And let me introduce you formally, so that people know, people the younger people who may not know you immediately, let them know you a bit. I'll just do that quickly. I'll just read out a small note. Yeah. So,
Yes.
Mr. Borde has been a very important cricketer for India. He's played 55 Test matches between the years 1950 and 1970. He was a right-handed batsman and leg spinner who scored over 3,000 runs, Test runs, and grabbed 52 Test wickets. He scored 5 centuries for India and 18 half centuries, and was one of the leading Indian batsmen in the entire 1960s, that entire decade. He was also the only Indian to represent, um, the World 11. Only Indian to represent, to be in the World 11 team that played Barbados in 1967, and that's a unique honor. That's a unique honor. And his first-class record of 1,604 runs has remained intact for almost 52 years. From 1964 right up to 2016 when Cheteshwar Pujara broke it. Mr. Borde has also been chairman of the Indian Selection Cricket Committee 2 times, and important tenures. He has been decorated with the highest awards of the nation, like the Padma Bhushan in 2002 and the C.K. Naidu Lifetime Cricket Award in 2006. So I will, without much ado, get to the interview.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Borde, my first question really is, you made your debut against a very strong West Indies team in 1958 in the home series, and you did extremely well, especially in that last Test match where you scored 109 and a 96. So. It would have been such a joy to get 2 centuries in one Test match. What went wrong with the 96?
Yes, that was some kind of a joy, and some kind of sadness was also involved because I couldn't complete my century in the second innings. But let me tell you very frankly, to play against the West Indies was a great challenge, absolutely great challenge, because they were the fastest bowlers during that period. And another thing, that time, the bowling crease, they could cross, because now the new rule is that the batting, the crease, if you cross, it's called no ball. But in the past, it was not there. That's why they were more dangerous. And to get to play against those people, it was frightening. Let me be very frank, frightening. But first 2-3 Test matches, they bowled us out to just like nobody's business, because we never faced that kind of bowling. It was they were really terribly fast, and we had no helmet. We had no, elbow guard. Our thigh pad was so thin. Pads were also thin. Gloves were also thin. So it was, let me tell you frankly, praying to God was the only thing that was there. And I used to do that.
Yeah, you were almost like gladiators, Mr. Borde. You must have been like those Roman gladiators, out in the, in the arena and facing lions. It was almost like that.
No, it wasn't there that time. No.
Yeah. So tell me about that innings of 96. What happened, Mr. Borde? Because you were heading towards the century.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when I was batting at 96 in the second innings, and there was no batsman to get in because 2 of our batsmen were injured, Paulu Imrigar and Manjrekar, Vijay Manjrekar. They had fractured hands. and only 4 runs were left for me to get that second century. But Manjrekar came with the his with the plaster to his hand, left hand, and he came just that I should get my 100, second 100. And he came to me, and it was the last over. So he came to me and he said, Chandu, get your 100. I was so much touched because the person was padded by other people to get in onto the ground. And then after the third ball, he came to me, Chandu, now only 3 balls are left to get second century. So what I did, Gilchrist, who was one of the fastest bowler that time, he bowled a bouncer and I hooked it. It went towards the boundary, but while turning, my pad touched the bails and I was out, hit wicket. It was, but let me tell you frankly, lot of people felt sorry for that, and I also felt sorry. But now I remember it is better that I missed that century because so many people remember that I missed it. If I were to get my second 100, there are so many bad cricketers who got century in each innings. But I missed it, therefore people remember me.
people remember that innings and remember you. Yes, absolutely. Quite amazing. Talking of, in fact, I want to share at this moment a lovely photo of yours, younger days. Let people see it. Just a minute. I'll show this photo I have, pulled out from Midday and Jetty Images, really.
Mm-hmm.
You see this?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know which ground do you think that is. Do you recognize the ground, Mr. Bode?
Yeah, ground.
Is this in India or is it abroad? I have a feeling it's not in India. Looks like England to me.
I think it is in the nets.
Yeah, it's
in England,
net.
I think.
Yeah. It's a
looks like
photo,
it.
Very much. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was in a league cricket or something like that.
Correct.
Tent and other thing, like a county cricket, that sort of ground.
Correct. Yeah, coming to this topic of county cricket, Mr. Bode, I believe you did, a little known fact that you did play some amount of county cricket, right? Or league cricket in England.
Not county cricket, county league
county
cricket.
League you played. Yeah.
League cricket, yeah. Quite a lot, nearly 14 years, 13, 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to go 6 months there, come back and play cricket in India for India.
How nice. So you got
and
to
6 months I used to spend I played in Lancashire League, I played in South Northampton League, I played in Central League, this is league cricket. And it was challenging, but at the same time, those days we cricketers used to get very little money. So this going to England was quite beneficial from money point of view.
How nice. Besides the money, Mr. Bode, what did you learn from playing in England? Because I'm sure you learned some very important batting lessons.
Oh, no doubt.
Playing the moving ball, for example.
Yeah. Technique-wise, definitely it helped me. And, playing in England, the ball swings quite a bit. Yes. So I had to change my grip also while batting. I used to have a grip which used to be my both the hands were very much up. I would used to my both hands were nearly at the end of the handle.
Like a long handle, long handle batting.
Long handle, yeah. But later on, I put my right hand downwards and that helped me to control my bat properly. So that was a plus point. Plus, I had the responsibility being a professional. That those were professional cricket that was. So I had to do a lot of things, plan the game, and that helped me. Then not only that, I learned how to prepare the wicket also, because in the evening, whole day, I didn't know what to do. So I used to go on the ground and sit with the groundsman. Sometimes I did the rolling also.
Oh, nice.
So it was, yeah, that helped me quite a bit. That helped me quite.
And then in later years, you have been curator of the,
Yes, that.
Nehru Stadium wicket
Yes,
for
yes.
so many years. And
Yes,
I
yes.
guess even in Pune Club, you must have given them advice.
Yeah. Yes. Why? I prepared couple of wickets for the once. I think it was a match played between West Indies and New Zealand. I think that wicket was prepared by me when the West Indies had come to Nehru Stadium.
Oh, how nice! How nice!
Hmm.
So interesting. I have a question about going back to your era about the late Subhash Gupte.
Yes.
And I'll show a
Yes.
photo before we speak. Just a minute. Yeah. So remembering the late Subhash Gupte, your old colleague.
Yes. Correct. Yes.
So
What a great bowler.
So about Mr. Gupte, he took 9 wickets against a very strong West Indies team in a Kanpur Test match.
That's right.
Yeah, and so you saw that, you were there in in the team. So
I played there.
yeah, you played that Test match. So you tell us about the magic of Subhash Gupte. Because Gary Sobers has said that he is the best leg spinner that
Correct.
ever born.
Correct. Absolutely. That 9 wickets Subhash took, and that 1 wicket that was taken by me.
Oh, how nice!
And both of us were leg spinners.
How
But
nice.
let me tell you about Subhash. Subhash had a tremendous, sort of variation in his bowling, and a very good spin also. He had a lot of spin. He used to turn the ball quite a lot, and his googly was difficult to pick. And later on, he bowled a straight through ball with the same action. So it was difficult to play Subhash. And therefore, I'll tell you, he mesmerized a lot of batsmen, great players. They couldn't pick his googly. And I'll tell you, we dropped a lot of catches of his bowling, but he would have got much more wickets. But he was a superb bowler, terrific leg spinner. The best during our time, the best, I'll tell you very frankly. And it was unfortunate that he went to West Indies and passed away. But we played a lot of cricket together for India, and he was really great. Being a leg spinner, I know how great he was.
Yeah.
Because to control leg spin bowling on line and length to bowl is difficult, very difficult.
True.
But here was a man who control the line and length and mix googly, leg spin, straight through, and whatnot. Fantastic bowler. Fantastic bowler.
How interesting.
He was the best I saw. He was the best I saw.
Yeah. On that note, I wanted to know, in local cricket, in domestic cricket, did you face him as a batsman?
Yes, I played for West Zone against him. That time he was playing for Central Zone. In Baroda, the match was played. And I played against him. I got 100, in fact. I got 100. Because what happened, playing for India, we knew in the nets, we used to, bat against him.
You were used to him. You knew how he would bowl.
Yes. But I managed to get. But still, I was not that confident facing him, in spite of getting 100. Still, I felt, I was on my toes all the time, though I got 100 against him.
How wonderful. How wonderful. On that note, I want to talk to you about two West Indies fast bowlers who you faced all the time. You know, Wes Hall and Charlie Griffith. Yeah. Now,
Yes, yes,
between the two, Wes Hall has, over the years been a good friend of yours. You know that we know. It's
yes,
documented.
yes.
So, what is this? What is it about Wes Hall, the fast bowler, Wes Hall, the person that you would like to tell us? You know, because he's a good friend.
A gentleman cricketer, I would say. He would intimidate you, and he did that during the test match when we played in 58. I'll tell you one incident. The first test that was played at Brabant Stadium, and Hall was bowling, and Roy was batting. Roy and this fellow, Nari contractor, they opened the innings. And I'll tell you, the first ball, Hall bowled all over his head, all over the head of wicket keeper, and it almost landed near the side screen. So we all were scared. What is this? So before going on the field, we were scared in the inside the dressing room because we had never seen that kind of thing. And I'll tell you that psychological effect was so much on the minds of the batsman. It worked out very well for him. He was a clever man. Hall is a gentleman, but at the same time, very clever person, and very friendly too, and religious. Let me tell you, because later on I met him in West Indies, and he was, I think, he's a pastor, something like that, and a jolly person. His personality on the field was, sort of a magic on the ground. People used to enjoy his laugh, his way of, talking, his way of walking. And the start he used to take and run was, it used to keep the batsmen on their toes all the time.
I
But
remember,
great man,
Mr. Bode,
great man.
1983, after India won the World Cup, West Indies toured India, and there was a West Zone game in Kolhapur. West Zone versus the West Indies. 3-day game
Uh-huh.
in Kolhapur in
Uh-huh.
1983. They came,
Uh-huh.
they toured us in a couple of months after the World Cup. Clive Lloyd was captain. The entire team came. Viv Richards, everyone. And Wes Hall was the manager. And I remember, I remember that you were not the chairman of the selection committee in 1983, but you were part of the selection committee, the team. And you were there in Kolhapur, and Wes Hall and you had such a lot of, I remember one evening in the party for the players and the media, you all had such a good rapport. We could see it, and you all were discussing some Barbados stories and so much fun.
Exactly. The match we played at Barbados, and because he's from West Indies.
He's from Barbados.
Yes. And Barbados produced so many great cricketers, and he's one of them. And I'll tell you, we shared a lot of, enjoyable time off the field, on the field, and joked about it. Very friendly person, very knowledgeable person also about the game, and a good tactician. How to, bowl also. His speed was there. There was no doubt. He was a tall chap. I'm bowling from almost 18 yards because I told you earlier,
long run
days, the front foot rule was not applicable.
Yeah.
So it was quite challenging to play against him, but at the same time, off the field, it was nice to meet him, chat with him. A great friend.
Are you is he in touch with you, Mr. Bode? Because
not
anymore. Not anymore.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. There is one. The other question that comes to mind is: see, you were the only Indian selected for that World 11 team in 1967. To play Barbados in a commemorative match. Now that is a
Correct.
very special honor, you know. So do you remember that match? What happened in
Very
that
much,
match?
very much.
And who are
What
your other
happened?
World 11 team members?
So, Basil de Oliveira from South Africa. Later on, he played for England. He
That's right.
was my roommate.
Oh, how
And
nice.
we were at Barbados, staying at Hilton Hotel. It is on the beach. And this Commonwealth team that was selected for the World Cup 11 versus Barbados, because cricket in Barbados is like a religion, I'll tell you. They love the game and they love their cricketers. The three Ws, Warrell, Walcott, and Week, then Gary Sober, then this fellow Walcott, or many of them, great cricketers Barbados produced. And therefore, this cricket is like I told you earlier, a religion. So we were staying in that hotel. In the morning, the breakfast came in our room. Basil and myself, we were there, sharing the room. So that person, he looked at me and gave the breakfast on the, put the table, and looked at us and mischievously smiled at us. So Basil, he said, "Hey, man, what happened? You're smiling." Man, you are playing against the giants, and I know what is going to happen. That's why you better enjoy your breakfast. And you will be surprised, in that match, we beat Barbados, that team. And I got some runs also. Then Murray from England, he was a wicket keeper. He also got some run. Mushtaq Muhammad from Pakistan, he
Pakistan,
was also there.
great batsman.
So Basil de Oliveira, he also got some. So when we won and came to entire Barbados, they didn't know what happened. They thought something is very serious matter that had taken place. And I'll tell you, the same waiter, when he came in the evening, kept his head down, and Basil said, "Hey man, laugh, man." Me said, "Come on, what happened?" He said, "Well done, well done." That kind of thing. I still remember that incident.
How
But
interesting.
that was a great team. Barbados was a very great team, and they produced great, great cricketers. And they loved their game. They loved their cricketers also.
Fantastic. Coming to more of the present era, you see, you were the manager of a very important team, the 1989 Indian team touring Pakistan.
That's right.
And that was the debut series for Sachin Tendulkar, who was just 16 and a half years old.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Sachin has gone on record and spoken very highly of you about how you were like a father figure to him as a manager and coach on that tour. So, Sachin was hit on the face by Wakar Yunus, and yet he went and scored a half century. Then he hit Abdul Qadir for 28 runs in one one-day game in Peshawar. So, what was special about that 16-year-old? What did you find special in that tour itself?
Guts. Lot of guts at that age. Youngster with that kind of guts. Because I remember the previous match he played against the leg spinners, and the way he hit him for 3 sixes and beautiful. But in the next match, this was at Sialkot when he was hit on the face by Wakar. I went on the ground. I was the manager, and I said, "Come on, come in the dressing room, Sachin," because the blood was coming out, So he said, "No, sir, I'll be all right." And the doctor, he just put something, and he put his helmet on, and next 3 balls he hit him for 4s. I'll never forget that. But before that, I'll tell you very interesting incident. We were staying in a hotel. It was not a hotel; it was like a building there, because the big hotels were not available. They are not there.
Small town,
during that.
Sialkot.
So I was staying on the ground floor, and he was staying just above me. Each one was given the room, and there's the small rooms. But at about 10:30, I heard a noise coming from his room. I immediately went with the, pyjama and all that. I just went up and knocked at the door, and here is the youngster. There was a small mirror trying to correct himself. And I looked at him and I said, "Hey, Sachin, what are you doing?" "Sir, I can't sleep. I never slept alone." Because he was 16 years old, no? I said, "Okay, come on, sit down." We sat down and had a little chat, and I said, "Don't worry, I am here on the ground floor. If you need anything, let me know." And then I sat with him for a little while, and then he later on slept. And next day he played that innings, and the way he played, oh, that day we knew. In Marathi we call it "Mulache pai palण्यात distat." You see the the
Yes,
greatness of a man in cradle.
in the cradle.
That, yeah, this is we thought about him, and I
What a
thought.
lovely
But
phrase.
another thing very important, he was the first person to go on the field and for practice, and last person to come out. Sometimes the groundsman used to come and tell me, "Sir, we want to now put up a wicket and other things, clear all the things. Please tell your players to come in." So it was like that. Sachin was great, absolutely. He was all the time dedicated to the game. Wonderful, wonderful.
This is that I wanted to share this photo. I think this is Sachin in that first series. You'll remember it clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
1989
yes.
Pakistan.
He has a
And,
very thick hair. Thick
yeah,
hair. Yes,
correct.
yes.
But and he used to. I think he's mentioned it. Sachin has written about it in his book autobiography. That he's mentioned that incident, and Srikanth was the captain, and Sachin. They were the two people wearing this white helmet without a, without a shield. So as a result, uh, uh, that ball could hit him in the nose. You know,
I
everyone
see.
had a additional protection, a visor which he
Yeah,
did
yeah.
not.
Correct, correct. But what a gutsy fellow. At that age, it's
Yes,
unimaginable. Really, unimaginable. That age, at the age of 16.
correct,
Who? Fantastic, fantastic.
absolutely. So that brings me to 1985. 1985. You were chairman of the cricket selection committee, and you all selected a very interesting team to go for the World Championship of cricket in Australia.
1983.
No, I mean 1985. The Benson Hedges.
Oh,
Benson
Benson
Hedges
Hedges.
with
Okay,
Gavaskar as
okay,
captain.
okay.
Yeah, with Gavaskar as
Yeah,
captain
yeah,
this time.
yeah,
And
yeah.
India won that in great style. So tell me, what was the magic of this team, 1985 team? Because it had a mix of youth and experience.
Correct. And that youth and experience was very nicely handled by Sunny Gavaskar. Let me tell you, Sunny, I found him to be the shrewdest captain, very knowledgeable captain. And his uh, knowledge of the game is so good that he handled the team beautifully. And particularly before going to Australia, I was with him in Kanpur. I went to his room because that time I heard that after the series, Australian series, he may retire. So I told him, Sunny Gavaskar, don't announce anything after the tour
Hmm.
because I want you. So he just gave me a smile. That's all. And he didn't say anything. But when he won there, he announces. So he's such a planned his entire life. His cricket so beautifully and without hurting anybody, but led the team very nicely. And I'm proud that he won that Benson and Hedges Cup. And I think Ravi Shastri got that
Champion of
car
champions.
also. Yes, they were the champion. Yeah, good.
Wonderful, wonderful. So it's been great, lovely talking to you, Mr. Bode.
Thank you.
I'm really, really happy to, connect with you again after so many years. It's been some years since we met, and so happy to see you, fit and fine. And like I told your son Uday the other day, that even now if you, go to Pune Club and say, Mr. Bode, pad up, huh? I'm sure you can go and score a few runs.
Nice talking to you. Nice to see you after such a long time. If God willing, might see you sometime in Goa
Yes,
and enjoy
yes,
your hospitality.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yes,
Uday,
that's
and you and the family must come to Goa when things become normal, and you must come and visit us at home. Certainly.
okay.
Huh? So my
Okay.
regards to everyone
Okay.
at home. Yeah.
Okay. Nice talking to you. Well,
Bye. Bye.
okay. Bye. Bye. Bye.